Good afternoon, Your Magnificence, Rector, Honorable Deans, honorable guests, esteemed faculty, and of course you students. Thank you for having me. It's obviously an honor to be here. It's such a concentration of quality and achievement is rare, and it's obviously inspiring. I feel grateful to have the lead hundreds of very talented engineers and people of technology, people mostly with technology education. Together we've been turning knowledge into revenue and growth for tens of thousands of small and large sellers on Allegro. And I see every day how much technology can unlock growth and how much powerful technology can unlock powerful growth. Also, I feel grateful to live in Poland in these days, in these decades, where hard work of people, education, leadership, good decisions, and technology have been fueling our country for the past 3 decades. And, you may be not aware, but for the past 3 decades, there were only 3 countries in the world that have been growing economy faster than Poland, and all of them are in Asia: China, India, and Vietnam. We've been growing gross domestic product per capita faster than South Korea. So this wouldn't have happened without hard work of millions of Poles before you, millions of students before you, people who were sitting not in this red hot beautiful building, but the other buildings of the prestigious university 30, 20, 10 years ago. And here you are. Now you are here and it's your turn. No pressure, right? You should be proud to be here today. It's well-justified pride. Aristotle distinguishes this definition of justified pride. You made it. So first, congratulations to all of you for making it in this seat. A lot of people would love to be on your place. In a few years, you will join the labor market. It will be your turn, and your turn to grow the local, global economy and our Europe, to make sure that the next 30 years is even better for the planet, even better for our country, for Poland, and for our Europe. A lot has been said already. It's absolutely impossible to make it better. So I will want to draw your attention to one fact that I've been thinking a lot past time, and I thought it might serve you. I will share some of my personal reflections on what might separate good from great for you and for all of us in the coming years. Today you start writing your new chapter in your history of life, professional life, and in a few years business life, whether someone else's business or your business, or maybe academia. But the most actually will depend on the quality of decisions. The quality of decisions that we make affect the trajectory of our life. And today I wanted to speak about 3 decisions. You can say, "Oh, Martin, come on, I'm sure there are many more." Yes, there are many more, but I was gently requested to make it short and sweet, ideally, shorter than 3 hours. So there will only be time for 3 decisions. So let's get started with the first kind of decisions. And this is going to be good news, because you've been under such pressure past months with a fantastic Matura experience. What a ride, right? A lot of coffee, sweat, and stress, and cortisol. And this even 3 months of vacations probably didn't wipe it out yet. So it's good to have some of the comforting news. And the comforting news is there will be decisions you'll be making, and they will divide into 2 groups: reversible and irreversible. Thanks God, most decisions are reversible. What is important, and the trick is to be able to separate those 2 in your life. Making mistakes are fine. You will make plenty of them. I made lots of mistakes, and trust me, I wouldn't be here if I made all the decisions right. I wouldn't be the person I am. So mistakes are fine as long as 2 conditions are met. The first condition is to be able to reflect on those mistakes. on failed exams, broken hearts, poor decision of internship, poor company choice. These things can be reversed. But the magic is make sure you really reflect on this and build, because this is how experience may turn into resilience. And the more resilient you are, the stronger you get. And these decisions are easily reversed. The second good news, now I'm not bringing only good news, but let's start with them. You have so much time. I've been watching your faces, the eyes and the hope and this insecurity and the pride and this excitement. No, it's phenomenal. No one will tell you about it, but I envy this. And something tells me many people here envy you at this stage. So you have a lot of time, that's great. And you're way too young and too talented, to fear risks and to really get stuck in indecision or inaction. Indecision or inaction is the old folks' game, it's not yours. So have no fear of accepting risks when things are reversible. When I heard about all the countries and the choices, even Mexico, like this is going to be Disneyland of decisions. It's going to be a lot of fun in front of you. Slow down in case of irreversible decisions, because that ones really deserve attention, and they might affect the trajectory of your life, personal and business-wise. So how to separate them? The irreversible ones, the most important ones, are those where the most precious things in your life are at stake. Things like your health, your life, your integrity, your soul, your most important relationship, the trust in your reputation, and ultimately responsibility for others. For example, when you decide one day to bring children to this world. This is a little thing which we need to stress. We know the demographic situation, we need to make this point from time to time. I've been working for 25 years. I cannot believe it, but that's how it works. And I had my good times when I was flying business class from California to Europe, sipping champagne. Some of my colleagues thought, Martin, you are living the James Bond lifestyle. That's how it looks on Instagram. The truth is, there were cases when I had no job, when I could hardly manage to buy coffee in Starbucks. It was not romantic at all, and I made mistakes. It is very easy if you find yourself in a dark place that you think, I am a has-been. Maybe I made some mistakes. I have no ego deficits to admit. I made plenty. And I'm sharing this with you because if you get stuck in a bad decision, you may want to remind there was a guy on your matriculation ceremony, so you're not the only one. There is also him. And here I am. Many things are reversible. I'm running 2 billion zloty business, being challenged with people way smarter than me every day. Many of them being engineers, people with technical degree, phenomenally smart, way smarter than I am. So this can be changed, and luck may change. As long as we reflect and we build, we grow, we move on. On the irreversible ones, now I know technically everything is reversible, but I've been happily married for 20 years. And this one, I'm telling you, it's definitely a decision to think a lot about, because this is where your mental health, your financial future, and also even lifespan depends on. And another good news is your future spouse, maybe in this room. I met my wife on my first grade. So if you can discreetly or less discreetly look around, and I'm telling you, I was in the Index Cafe bar, it's just around the corner. Something tells me it's going to be a very intensive couple of years, and I wish you take this time, but don't rush. In face of irreversible decisions, it's a less of an easy task to really make the right one. You're still shaping your values, you're still shaping your purpose and what you really care about. I just want to give you a little tiny advice. You can take it or leave it, it's up to you. By the way, you will be receiving hundreds of advice, and everyone will want your good. And you will need to separate those that serve you and those who completely are off. But my experience is, if I need to make an important decision, it's important to listen to your brain and all this intellect. There is such an abundance in this room. But let's not forget about your heart, Some would call it intuition. Every year, there'll be more and more of the intuition. So if you have doubts, and the doubts are mounting, maybe the answer is no. Let's go to the second kind of decisions. You might need to decide pretty frequently about your engagement level. How much you invest into task at hand, into relationship, into job, into the growth. I know it's terribly serious, but you might need to define in a couple of years what you really care about, what you don't care about. So you might need to choose where you stand. You want to celebrate how smart you are, which is pretty much like being in an ego spa, or you choose discomfort. So when I look at you, and if I know what you went through to sit in these rooms today, think about yourself as unpolished rough diamonds. And I don't have technical education, as you clearly can tell, but if you have a rough diamond, and if you want to make it polish, you know what it will take. It will not be pleasant. There will be a lot of friction. But ultimately, if you decide into discomfort, the value of diamonds will multiply. So you might need to start choosing soon, especially in a couple of years, what kind of diamond you want to be. The rough, which is happy with itself as it is, or polished, which is phenomenal, stunning, and super valuable. So you might want to choose whether you want a delayed regret or delayed gratification. And what is your prolonged effort, acceptance? Because there's no greatness that can happen overnight. None of these respectable academics here got a success overnight. And only they know how much coffee they had to go through to win title by title, compete and write, and have a frustration. And if the same in business, the same in NGOs, the same in many other areas of work. Now, you can say, Marcin, you know what, you look like kind of Gen X guy, maybe it's kind of workaholism, burnout kind of invitation. It is not. You might want to, I wish you were smarter than generations before you. So you might want to select carefully whether you want to apply 120% where it's necessary and engage in 80% where possible. So be smarter than previous generations. In many cases, we pushed hard. It is. And there is cost of it, of course. But also, if you care, this discomfort will drive you. It will be a fuel. I run a lot. I run, in a mountain. It's called sky running, very technical, pretty extreme kind of running in ultra distances. I hate cardio. It's so boring. So I put myself in a lot of discomfort. But you know what? I love the sense after the race, when I get the medal, and when I have a super clarity, like Zen monk kind of thinking. I love it. So yeah, I'm cool about being in discomfort because this is my accelerator. This is my fuel. This is my rocket fuel. So if you get intimate with discomfort, you will unlock your superpowers. And of course, don't take me wrong, if you need spa, go to spa. If you want to chill with your pals, go and chill with your pals. Life is short, have fun. The ultimate success is to be intimate with discipline and push hard where it's necessary, when it's worth it, and chill. Choosing either is easy. Combining two, this separates good from great life, in my opinion. There is one case, because we also have students that will be very close in business. You can say, yeah, Marcin, maybe it's kind of development, personal development story. It's not, it's way more than this. I want to tell you a very brief story about the Microsoft CEO. You might not know, but 14 years ago, the current CEO of Microsoft, called Satya Nadella, he came to the company that was full of pride. Everyone felt like a rock star. Money was being printed, Windows had no real competition. Everyone was repeating to him, don't mess with success, don't fix what's not broken. Like, we are the heroes. Ultimately, everyone envies us. This is where greatness ends. And the CEO invited Carol Dweck, who is a famous psychologist in Stanford University, and he said, help me to drive this cultural change. Because I read your book, it's called Mindset, By the way, if there's one book, except of all the necessary books you will need to go through in coming studies, I encourage you to read the book Mindset. Here is why. It helps to understand what separates the fixed mindset, which is kind of rough diamond, happy with itself, with the growth mindset. And Microsoft CEO required growth mindsets. And the culture. People are afraid of change because they're afraid of losing something. So everyone felt like, real? Satya, why change? Why bother? There's no need to change anything. And he really have turned the company around when it comes to culture, acceptance, and growth. And I want to close this story with two things worth remembering. Those who like numbers and those who like practical tips. If you like numbers and you completely don't buy this story, I get it. It's good. Critical thinking is a super important skill that your generation will need to use heavily every day. But if you look at the stock price of Microsoft past 14 years, the company grew value eightfold. Eightfold. This is spectacular. By the way, they killed many products, not introduced many products. And so there is a lot of value in growth. There is a lot of value in becoming real cut diamonds. There is some pain and discomfort, but there is value creation. And if Carol Dweck was here with us, we would ask her what advice she would give. You know what she would say? Something tells me. She would say, each of us have a lot to learn. Everyone in the room. You know, Da Vinci, when he was in his 70s, said, I'm still learning. So probably if he had something to learn, we all have here. That's the phenomenal place, phenomenal campus and organization to learn. So there is still a lot we don't know. But in the case there is something we don't know, we should say to ourselves, and even say it loud, I don't know how to do it yet. So if there's one sentence that you might want to remember after tonight's party, which something tells me some of you will have, is I don't know how to do it yet. Please remember this and use it obsessively every time you get stuck. So take it easy, but take it and think which kind of diamond you want to be. And this is your decision. It's liberating that it's your decision. And it's also so tough because this is your decision. There's no one to blame. And number 3, the final point. Yeah, I try to keep it short and sweet. Which is something not many people talk about. And I will put it straight in front of you. Because this is the decision how you self-regulate and how you manage your mood. And if you decide you are after something big and meaningful, if you aspire to quality, otherwise you wouldn't be here, you might want to be aware what kind of mood anesthesia you choose. I know it's not medical university, maybe I shouldn't use this word, but I use it on purpose because you will remember it till the last days of your life. Anesthesia. We are all choosing anesthesia because, I don't know how about you, but something tells me that just like most of us, we rarely are in the mood that we really enjoy. We may be a bit too anxious, maybe a bit too sleepy, and the problem becomes, because we are all human, when we become hungry, angry, tired. And this is when we want to switch our mood. And then the decision, how we manage our emotions, how we self-regulate, will create habits. In the coming years, you will create strong habits. And these habits, if they are unaware, will shape your life. Some may turn into superpowers, some may turn into terrible addictions. And these are your choices. In Buddhism, there is this saying that you cannot change behavior if you do not change awareness. So this is the reason why I'm telling you about it, because you should be aware that how you regulate your mood might define your destiny largely. It's an important decision. Now, since we have a honorable guest from France, it would be a waste not to quote Charles Baudelaire, who said, "A multiple of small delights constitute happiness." I'm not just trying to be provocative, I'm also trying to be pragmatic, the way I'm looking for how I regulate my emotions is I try to make it from outside and use my body. So as I mentioned, yeah, I'm into endurance sports. It helps me. Otherwise, when I enter meetings, where I have like 6 up to even 10 a day, and so many decisions every day, if you don't regulate your emotions, no one will want to follow you. No one will want to listen and trust you. And then you get home, I get 2 teenagers. Some of them, one of them is nearly your age. And then the real work starts and the real negotiations. So how I regulate my mood and my emotions becomes important. I find a lot of calm in books. I'm lucky to build a shape so I can enjoy ridges of alpine summits. I also practice ice climbing, so I don't avoid emotions, but I also appreciate outdoor and nature and try to test what serves me. I'm not saying you should now just go to the nearest outdoor clothes and just go straight to Tatra Mountains and to unwind. It's good for me, maybe it's a terrible idea for you. So you need to find things that serve you because each and all of you are unique. And on this point, one of the biggest killer of your mood and self-esteem will be comparing to someone who is sitting next to you. And the sooner you understand it, the better. One of the reasons why we might be in bad mood is that we are not enough. We might not be as good as X or Y. So I encourage you to remember the case of fish and cat. You know, the fish can never be cat can never be fish. Both have superpowers, both are needed on the planet. So I encourage you to spend the next years to really discover your strengths, because there will always be someone in the room way better than you are in one dimension. But I can promise you there are many people outside of these buildings and inside the room that would kill to have half of your superpowers that you have, you might not even be aware of. So use your strengths, get to know your strengths, build on them. Avoid comparison. Find these little delights of your life that Baudelaire was talking about. And I'm getting close to the final point. I wish you many good decisions, as many good decisions as possible, and as few bad as it's absolutely necessary. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to make these mistakes, because just a few decisions matter. If I were to distill my life full of mistakes into 2 good decisions, number 1 decision would be to propose to my girlfriend from studies. By the way, she was meeting with the other guy, so don't lose faith if you don't win immediately. And the second decision was choosing my first job, where it was all about discomfort. But I learned so much, and I feel privileged I was able to work there. Learn from failures and reflect on them, so they will turn strengths and they will turn into your resilience. The only bad decision is the one that you don't learn from. Use ChatGPT, but first of all, use your intuition and listen and trust more and more, because the more you learn, the more you reflect, the better your intuition tells you. The intuition is our operating system trying to protect us from stupid stuff. And celebrate good decision. Celebrate like there is no tomorrow, because this ultimately makes the life taste so sweet. All the best. Thank you for your attention. Have a great time and have a rich life. Thank you.